Hey guys, welcome back to Joe Wednesdays. We finally made it a week, or almost a week anyway. Um, so I realized in my last video that I didn't actually explain why the Joe Wednesday video was coming, 2 days late. So I figured I could kind of start off by explaining what happened there. Long story short, I had a project come up that kind of required me to work late for Wednesday and the better part of Thursday night as well. Um, so we were supposed to have the survey for the site that I was working on like a week prior. So we had told our client that we would have it by the following Friday. Um, so I was supposed to have enough time to get all of that done, but it got pushed back and delayed for whatever reason. So it ended up, instead of having like maybe a 40-hour work week to work on this project, I now had 2 days. And so that was definitely going to require me putting some, after night, burning the midnight oil hours kind of deal. And yeah, it sucked, but I was happy to do it. I really like my project manager, and I'm really like motivated to do my best work for him and to kind of really be a good teammate and reliable and all that kind of stuff. Plus, over the over the years, like with Lydia having her medical problems and Ashley having her medical problems, like there have been times where I really kind of had to take unexpected like leaves from work and people have had to cover for me. And I've been really appreciative of my teammates coming to my aid. So I kind of felt like this was kind of my turn to kind of step up and kind of take a brunt and take the brunt of a project and kind of do what I needed to do, whether it was like extra hours or that kind of thing. So yeah, it sucked, but I was happy to do it. Unfortunately, what that kind of forced me to do was really cram all of my travel prep into one night, and I was definitely not happy about that specifically. Because I was gonna be taking Lydia to Kenosha to visit Tony, and we were gonna leave Ashley here to kind of have some time to herself, and you know like like I've done those travels with Lydia on my own before, but like they've been shorter than as what the trip to Kenosha just driving was 6 hours, and that wasn't including like the stopping that we would have to do like for diaper changes and snacks and that kind of stuff. Um, so like just the trip was a lot more daunting than what I've ever done before, and so the fact that like Wednesday night and Thursday night were taken up by doing work instead of doing any like travel prep, instead was kind of this like oh god. um and unfortunately what that kind of caused me to do is like the like a lot of the packing, like I could only really do like a minimal packing on Friday night, so I had to do a lot of stuff like Saturday morning, and I was hoping to be out the door by like 8 a.m. and I couldn't get out of the road till 10:30 because like I had to we were having to move and modify Lydia's car seat to put it forward facing and all this other kind of stuff, that I was hoping to have done prior to that day, and I didn't get a chance to do it. So I definitely felt a lot more rushed and uncomfortable and more anxious about the travel than what I'm used to. Um, so that all kind of stunk, but I mean there was definitely a payoff because it was really nice to see Tony, and we finally got to see her house. Um, Lydia was awesome on the road. I mean, like honestly, I really like there were obviously like some problems, and she was having some tantrums and whatnot, but I mean like honestly I don't think you could have realistically asked her to be any more well behaved. um I came up with what I thought was a good idea of like I downloaded some videos from Disney Plus onto my Kindle Fire, and then I just kind of like put a Ziploc bag and I hanged it off of the back of the passenger seat, and I put a slit in the side so I could grab it and slide it in and out. um and so like most normally I don't want Lydia to do too much videos, but I mean, I figure, she's stuck in a stationary position for 6 hours at least, throw the kid a bone. so, like, I had, like, like, she probably watched 101 Dalmatians at least 4 times over the course of us driving back and forth and that kind of stuff. Um, but I was glad I had, like, some sort of crutch to kind of help her get through it because, um, like, by the time we were getting through Chicago and she was really just fed up with sitting, she started getting her hands underneath her seatbelt and, like, the shoulder straps, and, like, she was pushing the buckle down and then getting her shoulders completely out so she was able to, like, bend over from her front. And I'm just like, no, you cannot do that right now, because, like, once we got into Chicago, it's really the only stop and go traffic we ran into, and some of them were sudden stops, so she couldn't, like, like, I didn't want her to, like, all of a sudden get thrown forward by the momentum. So, like, and there were a few times before we got into Chicago where I actually had to, like, pull off to the side of the expressway to get her back in the seat, and she was not happy about it because obviously she wanted out, and I definitely understood why she was feeling that way, but, like, at the same time, it's like, you need to be safe, and we can't just stop in the middle of the road here. We have to keep going to get to Kenosha. But in the end, like I said, in the end, it was definitely worth it. It was a lot of fun to see Tony and Andy. Lydia had such a great time with them and visiting and just, like, and saying hi to Lou and all that kind of stuff. It was freaking adorable. So hopefully by now you've been looked on my Facebook to see all those photos, because I mean, she is absolutely adorable. Uh, so yeah, definitely a lot of fun was had. So it's like it's this cost benefit thing is it costs so much more to just do, like, regular things now with Lydia in tow. But so, like, like, because, like, if it was just me going to Kenosha by myself, I mean, I could, just grab a bag, like, first thing in the morning and just go, and I'd be off and it'd be fine. But with Lydia, it's like it's so many, like, you have to pack up half of her stuff and bring it with you. So it's like it's a lot more effort to travel with her, but I'm definitely glad that there was an exceeding payoff for it. Um, so I hope Tony and Andy had fun too. Having us visiting. I feel like I tend to be a very boring house guest. Because because I was telling them, it's like they were asking me if there was, like, anything that I particularly wanted, and because, like, they were encouraging me to try to treat it like it was a vacation, like, at least like a vacation weekend. And it's like, between, like, asking them for, like they asked me if I want, like, ice cream or something to drink, and I'm like, yeah, I get some Moose Tracks or something like that, I guess. And it's like, between the asking them for the ice cream, and then, like, Andy offered to do a fire, and I'm like, yeah, let's do a bonfire, that sounds great. Like, but, like, between, like, just those two requests is probably, like, the most I've ever asked out of someone who was hosting me at their house. So it's like I'm super uncomfortable asking for stuff. So I tend to be kind of boring as a house guest. So I hope they weren't too bored by me, and they had fun. Because I know I did, and I know Lydia definitely did. Um, so yeah, so that was all good. So I don't really have anything else planned to chat about right now. So hope you guys have a good week, and we'll see you next time.